Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you for your responses. Thank you very much. Okay. In the last session, we have learned about security options in Jenkins. How can we create new users in Jenkins? And at the same time, we also have learned how can we provide restricted access to Jenkins to other users. Okay. This is our plan for our today's session. We'll understanding about one of the most important point is master slave configuration. How can we establish master slave configuration? Why should we do that? Okay. And then we'll also learn how can we create a new node in Jenkins and how to run the job in the node machine. This is our plan for our today's session. So before getting into the practicals of today's session, so let's have an interaction. Yes, Kumar.
Hi Sunil, good evening.
Good evening, Kumar. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Please tell me.
Yeah, I followed your steps about the role creation, and I assign all the things that has been given in the notes. But when I am restarting, although the commands are running in Git Bash, but my browser is not running. Means it's not getting reloaded. After some time, I refresh it. And when I logged in with that, it's not. It's saying that the overall view is not there. Means you don't have permission for overall view. I don't know what's happening.
Did you restarted the Jenkins?
Yes, I restarted Jenkins with the.
I think it has been not successfully restarted. It just stopped and tried terminating, stopped and starting the instance and starting the Jenkins again.
No, I didn't try that. I didn't stop the Jenkins.
You do one thing. What you do, you stop the EC2 machine. Okay.
Okay.
Start the EC2 machine, and
Okay.
again start the Jenkins.
Okay.
Why don't you try that? Okay.
Okay. I'll try.
Okay, Kumar. Anything more, Kumar? Clear?
See.
Are you able to understand perfectly whatever we are learning?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sir.
Harita, how are you?
Yes, Sunil. Yeah, I'm good. What about you?
Yeah, doing well. Yes, your question.
I'm not able to connect with Jenkins, Sunil. After entering the password, I am getting error like that port number refused to connect. Checking the proxy.
What is the security group you have used for creating the EC2 machines? What ports you have opened? In my case, not 80. I'm talking about the creative when you're creating the EC2 machines. I don't want any issue, so I have opened all traffic.
Yeah, I opened all traffic only.
From source can be anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere.
So in such case, you will not find any issues. Harita.
I am keep on trying, but I am getting the same error.
What is the error you're getting?
That port number refused to connect and checking the proxy.
Definitely the problem is with respect to security group. Okay.
Security group. Okay.
You better to create new missions with the security group all traffic from source anywhere. Okay. You will get it.
Sir. I'll try it.
Thank you. Yeah. Maheshwara. How are you?
Yeah, fine, Sunil. Actually, I practiced that actually. All the roles and
So you have created a AWS account?
No, I'm practicing in the
from your Windows machine.
Windows machine. Yeah. So I did all the roles and these things actually. So manage plugins.
Okay.
Everything is working, but for starting and restarting is working fine. Same way, if I give stop, it is not taking it actually. So I looked into the thing. It is that Jenkins.exe start something. It is showing in the net actually.
Okay. In case of Windows machine, what you do, you stop the machine and start the machine. Your Windows operating system. It will work fine. Okay.
I have to go to the particular path and open it. Is it?
You need to go to particular path and open it. You're right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Anuj. I cannot hear you.
Hello, Sunil.
Yes, Anuj.
Thank you, Sunil, for the wonderful sessions. And I have successfully tested everything. I
Which
have
one?
only one role creation.
Okay, okay.
Everything is running
Good,
perfectly
good.
fine. But one mistake I did
Uh-huh.
while creating a role, in the admin tab, I revoked the read permission. Now,
Oh.
when I log into,
You
it
cannot
is
read.
saying, right. So
What is it showing?
is it saying that the admin do not have read permission? So I
Yeah, yeah.
Google out and find that there is a XML file where something could be done, but I did not reach the exact path.
No, don't disturb those all paths. Okay. So, like how what I have done it, provide the read permissions. You will get it. Okay. At the role level.
So is there any solution to this?
No, no,
If
no.
something happened by chance.
At the admin level, you can change the. Anyways, you can change the permissions, right, Anuj? At
No,
the
but
role level.
for the no, but while login to the I have created roles and everything. Other developer and tester, they do not have configure Jenkins permission.
You are right.
And admin read access, it was revoked by mistake.
Okay. Okay.
So while login,
No, they
I did-
have to request to admin to provide the permissions. Okay. So don't disturb from a user point of view, Anuj. Okay.
right, but it happened by mistake. So
That's
I
okay.
was
That's
saying
okay.
that-
It can happen, no problem. But only admin should have full control. Okay. So probably what they'll do practically this kind of says experience at the real time, Anuj. As a DevOps engineer, they'll ask you to provide the read permissions. You apply the permission to the role level, automatically they get the details. Okay.
Okay, but what happens if admin permission got revoked? Main admin user permission got revoked and other user do not have permission. How to fix this? Typical.
Generally, it will not happen. Okay. Yes. Isn't it?
I'll find
Yeah.
out some more, but this is the interesting scenario.
There
I'm
can
telling you,
be,
this
there
happened with
will
me.
what happens, right? Then if case, Anuj, you are in the
Yep.
DevOps team and your manager is also in the DevOps team. Okay.
Yeah, I can request somebody else.
Both of you can be admins.
Right.
Right?
Got it.
That means
Got
both
it.
of you are having admin role.
Yeah,
Means
perfectly.
in case if you have any issues, you can ask other admin to manage it. Okay, and manager will give the role so that you will be
Right.
multiple
Right.
admins will be there at the real time.
Yep.
Okay,
Thank
not
you,
one
sir.
admin, not an
Got
admin.
it.
Let's say if a DevOps team is having 10 resources, 3 to 4 admins will be there. That's
Yeah,
not a
got
problem.
it. Got
Okay?
it. Got it. But
There
my
are-
case was an interesting one.
That
It
can be
happened. There was
solved
no
when there
more.
are multiple admins because there was only one admin. Okay.
Thank you, Sunil. Thank you.
Okay.
Please proceed.
Now,
Thank you.
yes, 1 minute. And can we have a
Yeah, sure.
continuation?
Please.
I want to log into Jenkins. So first I connect to starting Jenkins.
Yes.
We have dev, QA, production. And we all know Jenkins is running on the dev instance, isn't it?
Right.
Okay. How many jobs you can see in the dashboard, Anuj?
Two.
2 jobs, development job and
Testing job.
Visualize a Jenkins dashboard which is having some 20 to 30 jobs. Okay.
Right.
Because the multiple developers working on their jobs, so assuming there are 20 to 30 jobs. Okay.
Right.
All the jobs when you click on run, agree? When Jenkins job runs, it runs on which machine? Obviously, Jenkins is installed on the
Dev.
dev instance. So the jobs will be
Right.
running on the
Dev
instance. When there are more number of jobs running on the dev instance parallelly, okay, because of limited hardware configuration, the Jenkins server can go down.
Right.
Because of limited hardware, as the complete load is on the dev server, because when the poor number of jobs which are running on the parallelly, then because of the limited hardware, the Jenkins server may go down. Okay.
Right.
Now,
right.
as a DevOps engineer, how do you overcome such kind of scenarios? Okay. To avoid Jenkins server going down, we go for establishing master slave configuration.
Master slave configuration.
We go for establishing master slave configuration in Jenkins. Please look at this. Okay. So what is the need for master slave configuration in Jenkins? When there are more number of jobs running on the dev instance, because of the limited hardware resources, the Jenkins server may go down, which is not at all acceptable by the clients. To overcome that issue, what we can do, we create a
Master
slave machine. We create a slave machine. This dev instance is called as a master instance. What we do is we create a slave machine, and then we restrict the jobs in such a way that it runs on the slave machine. Jobs will be running on the slave machine so that the load will be distributed. Clear about this? So to
we distribute jobs, right?
Yeah, we distribute the jobs so that the job runs on the slave machine. That means job will consume the hardware resources of the slave machine.
So all jobs will be running on slave machine.
When all jobs are running on slave machine, again the same issue. At least few jobs we should transfer to slave machine so that the load gets distributed. Clear, Anuj?
Okay. Got it.
So the need for master slave configuration is to avoid downtimes in Jenkins server, because when there are more number of jobs running, there can be expensive downtime. Okay, so that to avoid that, we go for creating a master slave machine. Okay, so slave machine is nothing special. It's something altogether a new EC2 machine. It's altogether a new EC2 machine. So what I'll do, I'll create altogether a new EC2 machine. Okay, so let's proceed with creating a slave machine. Launch instances. I go with Ubuntu 18. T2 micro instances. I want only one instance, comes with 8 GB of storage. Next, security group. Okay, no issues. I go with the all traffic anywhere. Review and launch. Click on launch. Create a new key pair. I'm writing it as any name. You can write it. Slave KP with today's date. I'm downloading my key pair in desktop Sunil folder. Launch instances. View instances. So I'm naming this as a slave. Let's wait for the machine to get into the running state. And I open one more terminal and want to connect to the slave machine.
While creating slave machine, we have to specify bootstrap so that Java, Git, Maven. No.
We are not. No. We are not installing Git, Maven, nothing in the slave machine. As of now, it's an empty operating system. Am I right?
Okay, plain EC2.
Plain EC2 machine. So I want to connect to slave machine. Connected to slave machine. The prerequisite of Jenkins is Java. Anuj, do you remember? For Jenkins, the prerequisite is Java. So we also have to install Java in the slave machine. Okay. The same version of Java should exist in the slave machine. So what I'm doing, I'm updating the apt repository in the slave machine. Install JDK. How was your weekend, Anuj?
It was good, Sunil.
Okay. Yes, Diman, your question.
Hello.
Yes, Diman, we can hear you. How are you?
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening. Yeah, thank you.
Actually, I was seeing the Jenkins being installed in Docker also through Docker toolbox. So,
Yes,
what is
you're
the
right.
usage of that?
No, that is if you want Jenkins environment on demand, in such case, we create Jenkins as form of a container. You have to wait for the Docker to get started. So you'll understand the difference.
Okay. In
Okay,
some
Diman?
okay. And
You have to
another
wait.
thing, one day we discussed before, remember that timeout error came.
Yes, Diman.
Yes, actually that region was different. So I choose Mumbai region. I install everything. So it
Now it
sorted
was
out
working.
actually. Ah,
Okay, previously you were somewhere in North
ah,
Virginia, probably.
US
Okay,
region
US
something.
region. Okay. Now the issue is solved.
Sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Good to know that. Yes, Poonam.
Yeah, hi Sunil, good
No,
evening.
good evening.
Sunil, while creating the slave EC2 machine for slave, we have used different as security group and also created different
Yeah, that's okay. You can
CPF.
use the same security group. You got different security group, but I have opened all. There's no restriction. I have opened all traffic source can be anywhere. Okay, that's what is the most
Okay.
important point. Okay,
Okay, for convenience purpose, we can use the
for
same
convenience,
security
you
group.
can use the same security group. Also, doesn't matter as long as that security group is opening all ports from source anywhere.
Mhm.
Okay.
The same which for the
Yeah,
master
yes.
node we have taken like
You can reuse the
that.
security group. You are right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
Poonam, we have installed. What did we install? Did you
Sorry.
check? What did we done? We
We
have
installed
installed.
Java
We
on
have
the slave
installed
machine.
Java in the slave machine.
Slave
Okay.
machine. Yeah.
Now you can see this is the terminal which we are pointing to which machine, which is the terminal pointing to slave machine.
Slave machine.
And the master terminal machine is already busy with the Jenkins log messages. That's fine. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
we need to establish, if you want to define master slave configuration, you need to establish passwordless connection between dev and slave machine.
Yes.
Very, very important, Poonam. You have to establish passwordless connection. We have to establish passwordless connection between dev
Master
machine and
and
slave machine.
slave machine.
You
yeah.
know how to establish passwordless connection, Poonam?
We can generate a key by SSH.
Yes, you are right. Yes, you are right. The
And the
first point,
master.
look at the steps which I am following.
Yeah.
To know the current user in the slave machine.
Mhm.
To know the current user in the slave machine, you know, we have a command called
Who am I?
who am I to know the current user in the slave machine. So current user is obviously Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
As we do not know the password for the Ubuntu, I set the password for the Ubuntu user. Okay.
Yeah.
Sudo password followed the username. This is a command to set the password for the Ubuntu user.
Yeah.
Provide any password. Remember the password which you are defined for the Ubuntu user. Okay. Now, all this I'm doing configuration in which machine?
Master.
I'm doing all this. This is right now I'm connected to which
no,
machine?
in the slave machine.
Slave machine.
Slave
Okay.
machine. Yeah.
In the slave machine, there is an SSH directory.
Hmm.
We have an SSH directory. In the directory, there is a file called as SSHD config file. Okay.
Yes.
I open that particular config file. Secure SSHD stands for Secure Shell Daemon Configurations.
Configuration.
I'm opening that particular config file and I go, there's an option called password authentication.
Yeah. We have to change.
Can you see here? Password
Yes.
authentication by default will be no.
Yeah. Can
I'm changing it to
yes.
Okay. And then I am restarting the SSH service. This is all I'm doing it in which machine? Slave machine. Okay.
Yeah.
Next. Now let's test the connection. Let's right now this is a slave machine instance. Let's connect one more terminal to the dev machine.
Mhm.
I have connected to
Dev
dev
machine.
machine. Observe the dev machine IP address is ending with
57.
sorry. The dev machine is ending address IP address 57 is the dev machine.
Yeah.
Right now I'm in the dev machine, and now let's test from the dev machine. Am I able to communicate to the slave machine or not? Okay.
Yes.
The command is SSH. Ubuntu is a username present in the slave machine. At the rate private IP address of the slave machine. Let's pick up the private IP address of the slave machine. This is a slave machine. You can see this is the private IP address of the slave machine, isn't it?
Yeah,
Poonam.
ending with 246.
So yeah, ending with 246. So I am checking. Am I able to communicate from the dev to slave machine? Right now I'm pointing to dev
Master
machine,
dev
and
machine.
and now I am going to slave machine
Slave.
using SSH. Are you sure you want to connect? Yes. It is asking for the password for the
Password.
Ubuntu user.
Mhm. You'll
We
provide the
I have
password.
defined the password for the Ubuntu user, and you can see I have connected to slave machine.
Slave
Slave machine
machine.
is ending with 246. If I
246.
click on exit, again it will be back to dev machine.
Dev
Did I
machine.
establish a passwordless connection between the dev to slave?
No, it is
Poonam?
with password. It is
It
with
is with password. You are right.
Yes.
So you have established connection, but
Mhm.
it is prompting for the password.
Password.
If you don't want password to be prompted, what you need to do, you need to generate the
Key.
keys.
Yeah.
You need to generate the
Keys.
keys, and then the copy the keys to the
Yeah,
slave machine.
slave
Isn't it?
machine.
Okay. So SSH keygen is a command, isn't it, Poonam?
Yes,
Which helps you
yes.
to generate the keys. And this is the steps, participants. So these are the steps we need to follow to establish passwordless connection between any machines. Okay. So I am generating the keys in the master machine. Master machine is nothing but yes, you are right. 57 is master machine. Just press enter. Just press enter. The keys has been generated. Now I will be copying the keys to the slave machine, and this is the IP address of the slave machine. SSH copy ID Ubuntu mention the private IP of the slave machine. So when you run this from the dev machine, I am copying the keys to the slave machine, asking for the password. Can you see here number of keys added? We have successfully copied the keys to the slave machine. As the keys are now copied, I will be successfully communicating to the slave machine without password. Please experience this. Right now, I am in the IP address ending with 57. That is nothing but the dev machine. So, and I want to move, and I want to, sorry, I want to move to the slave machine. My slave machine is ending with 256. Right now, can you see it is ending with 246. Now I'm prompted, I'm connected to slave machine. In this process of communication, it is not asking for password. When I click on exit, I'll be back to the dev machine. I have successfully configured passwordless communication between the slave machine, dev to slave machine. Any questions in the process? Krishna Rao.
Hi, Sunil. Good evening.
Good evening.
Doubt, how many instances can run in with one key pair?
How many machines can be run in?
How many instances can running with by using one key pair? You run the
Then
three
there is no
instances.
restriction. You can have a number of machines. Okay. No
Okay.
restriction. We're using one keeper. We can have 10 instances, 20 instances also.
There is no limit.
There is no limit. You are right.
Why is security group as open all ports or actually Jenkins required?
We should open only 8080 port as per technically speaking. Okay. But for comforts, for comfort sake, I have opened all ports, but practically we need to open 8080 port. Okay.
Only ports. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You actually you are using AWS. We can get the WAR file for using of Jenkins.
Sorry, we are using.
You are using for Jenkins AWS. You are using WAR file. Jenkins WAR file you are using in AWS.
To start to install Jenkins on AWS.
Manually
EC2
can see the manually can run in your laptop Maven and download Jenkins.
You can
see
do
on
that.
one
In that
time?
case, if you want to install Jenkins, you need to select
Okay.
Windows operating system. The file extension changes. I think it will be MSI file or a different file extension.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Krishna.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Chana.
Hey, Sunil. This is Chenna.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Hey, good evening. I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you, Chana. Yes, your question.
So I have a couple of questions. So when you are doing, APT update and APT install, so from where these source files is looking it? So APT is a repository.
APT is the name of the repository. Okay.
Okay, like yum.
Like yum. Yes, in Red Hat we use yum. In Ubuntu it is APT repository. That's it. That's the only repository name changes. Rest of the concepts is the same. All the packages will be available in the APT repository. We have to install from the APT repository. Okay.
Okay. So the other question is, so for the Jenkins, is the JDK version is need a compatible
That's a
version
prerequisite.
or
1.8
suppose-
or above is compatible.
so it will not take a 1.6.
Below 1.8 it
1.7?
will not take. It will not take.
Oh, okay. So the other last question is,
Okay.
so you did SSH keys exchange, right?
Yeah, I have copied the keys
So
to
you
the
did,
slave machine.
yeah, you did from dev to slave server.
Yes, you are right.
So if slave want to communicate to dev,
No,
is it
slave
possible?
will never communicate to dev. Only one-way communication we have to establish. Only dev
Okay.
to slave. Okay.
So when you use
In case if you
SSH
want to technically speak slave to, then you have to copy this slave keys to dev. Okay.
dev, okay.
Vice
On the
versa will also
authentication.
happen. Yeah, but it is
So
not
is-
required here because always instructions will come from the master machine only. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Chana. Thank you. Yes, Anuj.
I'm sorry, my hand got raised.
Okay,
I
clear
need
about
to load it.
what did we do?
Yeah,
Anuj?
perfectly clear till now.
Do you
Please
know
proceed.
already how to establish master slave configuration? Or is the first time you
No,
already know it? Okay. Now, so this master slave configuration, passwordless communication is established. Okay.
Right.
Now, total we have 4 EC2 machines. Am I right, Anuj? Dev, QA,
Correct,
prod,
correct.
and the new machine what we have
Slave,
created.
slave.
Out of these 4 machines, where is Jenkins installed?
Dev.
Dev, no doubt. So whenever you install Jenkins, by default there will be a file called as slave.jar file.
Okay.
When you install Jenkins, by default there will be a file called as
Slave.jar.
That slave.jar file should be copied into the slave machine.
Okay.
Whichever machine you want to make it as slave, the jar file should be copied into the machine. Now what I'll do, we have a slave.jar file. We have to download that slave.jar file to the slave machine. Am I right?
Right. But path? Which path? Which path we need
Slave.jar
to...
file will be available in the JNLP jars in the directory. Okay. In the JNLP jars directory, there's a file called a slave.jar file. In this slave.jar file, we have to download it. Okay. So connect it to the slave machine. Right now, you're pointing to 246 is nothing but slave machine. Am I right?
Slave machine.
246 is slave machine. So
there is no
wget is a
path.
command.
There is no path required on slave.
No path required on slave. That's not a problem. Download that slave.jar file. Okay. So where is slave.jar file available? In the
master
machine. So take the master machine IP address here. Am I right?
Right.
This is the private IP address of the master machine. Right now I'm pointing to SSH directory. That's okay. It can be any directory, but anyways, I'm going to home directory. If you want, you can refer it. I'm pointing to /home/ubuntu.
Home, right.
Okay, so I'm using wget command to download that particular slave.jar file. It has been downloaded. You can see the slave.jar file has been
Downloaded.
Okay. Next, you need to give execute permissions for the owner of that particular file. Okay.
Right.
Owner is not having execute permission. Now I'm providing a execute permission. Okay. That's fine. Okay.
Correct.
Next, in the slave machine, create a directory name as workspace.
Right.
Here, there's no importance for the directory name workspace. It can be anything, but better to create a name with the name workspace and then get into that particular. You can see you have created a directory called workspace and get into that particular directory. Take a note of the new directory which you have created. /home/ubuntu workspace is the directory which I have created in the which machine? Slave machine.
Slave machine.
Right?
Correct.
Now, this is all from the operating system point of view. Now, from the Jenkins point of view, what you need to do, you need to create a new node in Jenkins. Go to Jenkins dashboard, manage Jenkins, manage nodes. By default, there will be one node called as master node.
Master.
The default node of Jenkins is master. Now what we have to do, we have to create a new node. New node. Slave machine is already created. We need to create a new node in Jenkins. That node will point out to which machine? Slave machine. So I'm creating a new node. Node name can be anything. I'm writing it as my slave. Mark it as permanent agent. Click on OK. Remote root directory. Do you remember we have created a remote directory in the slave machine?
Right.
That is the remote root directories. This one.
Correct.
Label. Label is different. Node name is different. Wanted to understand it is as a label. I'm writing the name of the label as slave underscore label is the name which I'm providing. Launch method. Launch agent via execution of launch agent via execution of command on the controller is the option you need to select. And the command is you need to trigger that particular slave.jar file which you have downloaded. Okay. Java-jar slave.jar file. So here in slave.jar file is available in the private IP address of the slave machine. So this is the private IP address, isn't it, Anuj?
Right.
This is the command which helps you to trigger the slave machine, right? And then click on save. So what we are doing all together, we are creating a new node in the Jenkins. What is the name of the label of the node? Slave underscore L label. Okay. So I have created a new node. Can you see this is the new node which you have created? When you create a new node, you will get this kind of cross mark and click on refresh. Now it should be activated within no time. In case if it is not getting activated within 1 minute or 2 minutes, that means somewhere you have done a mistake. It will not take more than 1 minute. Less than a minute it getting be activated. If it is not getting activated, that means you have somewhere done a mistake, Anuj. Okay.
Mistake.
Sure. So now both the nodes are active. One node is pointing to which machine? Obviously the dev instance. The second node is pointing to which machine? Obviously the new EC2 machine. That's nothing but a slave machine. Next. Go back to dashboard. I want to create a new job in Jenkins. But the point is that new job which I'm creating that should run in the slave machine, that should not use the hardware configuration of the dev instance. It should run it on the slave machine. So when you want to create a new job, create a new item, job name can be anything. I'm naming it as job 1. I'm selecting it as a freestyle project. Click on OK. And then here we have in the build tab, post build action, execute shell. I'm just printing a simple echo statement. That's not a problem. Go to general tab and there's an option called restrict where this project can be run. And then provide the label. Do you remember we have provided a label to that particular node which you have created? The label is slave underscore label. Am I right?
Label. Right.
You are automatically getting the label. So this label matches to one particular node. Got it, Anuj? Click
Right.
on apply, click on save.
Save.
Go back to your job. And now I'm running the job. When you run the job, as you have restricted clearly that I want to run this particular job on a specific node, node points to altogether completely new hardware. Okay. So when you're running the job, let's wait for the job to get executed. You can see running on my slave. Can you see this one node called master machine? By default, it runs on master. Now you're getting running on
My slave.
my slave. Go back to your job. Click on refresh. Job has been executed successfully. And click on console output. You will get a message saying that building remotely on my slave. My slave is nothing but name of the node. Go back. What is the name of the node I have provided? My slave. Previously, you will get a message building on master, but you're getting related to my slave, and you have created a workspace with the folder workspace, isn't it?
Right.
Inside the workspace, automatically one more folder gets created, workspace, and then in that directory gets created all the files related to that particular job, saves in that particular directory. It does not consume the hardware configuration of that particular dev machine. Jobs. Sometimes, Anuj, sometimes we can identify few jobs are consuming. There are few jobs which are independent jobs, like development and testing job. They're related jobs, isn't it? Test
Right.
development job. So this kind of related jobs, better to put it on one particular node. If you identify some jobs which are specific standalone jobs, better to move it onto the new
Slave
node so that the Jenkins server will not go down. Clear?
I
Clear
have
about the
I
need for
have-
master slave configuration?
I have a question.
Yep.
You answered first question automatically that dependent job should be on one node.
Dependent job better always should be in one node.
So that means it's not
if both
automatic.
can be moved to new jobs, both the dependent jobs can be in a new node. That's not a problem. But both should be in single node. Okay?
Single node. They should not be in different nodes.
You are right.
Now, then it is more or less it's a kind of a manual process where the developers, if they create lot many jobs on one particular node, then again the whole idea of master slave will go down because someone need to manage.
We will make sure that it runs on the node machine. We will provide instructions to the development team saying that please restrict the jobs whichever you're creating in the new node, because in AWS we have a CloudWatch service where we can monitor the hardware configuration. Okay, Anuj, we know how metrics, how much RAM is getting used, how much CPU is getting used in the EC2 machine. When we getting an alarm saying that it is becoming busy and busy, that means we need to take initiative to move the jobs run to the
So in fact, Sunil, how many slaves we can attach?
Yes,
is it
very
any
good
limitation?
Question. Very good question, Anuj. Before asking you how many slaves, can you tell me the steps to have second slave?
Second slave, we have to create a new EC2 machine, install Java on it, install Java. Then once Java is installed, then we have to copy slave.jar file over there.
Establish passwordless communication between the dev to new slave.
Right.
Next.
Then we have to copy slave.jar file.
Yes. Then copy. Next.
Then we have to create workspace directory over there.
Create a new node in one more new node.
One new node.
And restrict the jobs in the second node. Okay. There is no limitation. One dev machine one master machine. Dev is referred as master. One master can have multiple nodes. Not a problem. We can have one number of nodes. That's not at all a problem. Clear, Anuj?
Perfect. Clear? So that I can assign one slave for developer, one slave for tester.
You can do that. You can do that. Generally, it's not based on the role. It's all based on the amount of hardware configuration the jobs runs. Okay.
Thanks, Sunil.
Thank you, Anuj. 3 months, Sanath.
Yeah. Good evening.
Clear about the process of how to establish master slave configuration and why should we do that?
Yeah, I just wanted to have a summarization of entire process.
Yes.
Actually. So can you please explain it again? Just to summarize it.
Okay. The first point, assuming there is no concept of master slave configuration, Sriman, by default, every job runs on the dev instance. Every job runs on the dev instance. Visualize a Jenkins server, a Jenkins dashboard, which is having some 20 jobs, Sriman. When all the jobs, when sometimes the jobs run parallelly, it will consume the same hardware configuration. Because of limited hardware configuration, the Jenkins server can go down, Sriman.
Okay.
So to avoid the downtime, what a DevOps engineer, we need to the solution, what we need to do is we need to create altogether a new machine called as a slave machine.
Slave machine.
Okay. And then we have to, in Linux, we have an option of master slave configuration. Sorry, passwordless communication. You have to establish passwordless communication between the dev machine to slave machine. First point. Okay.
Okay.
For passwordless communication, you have to follow some steps like what we have done. It very simple. You need to identify the password for the user. You have to change SSHD configuration file, generate the keys, copy the keys to slave machine. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
Once the passwordless communication has been done, then we'll be creating a new node and then we will restrict the jobs. Yes, Sriman, here we have an option. Whenever you're creating a job, you're clearly mentioning that you want to run restrict where the job runs on the slave underscore label. Label is nothing but the slave machine.
Okay.
Sriman. So that means this particular job, whenever gets executed, it will consume the hardware configuration of the slave machine rather than the dev instance, so that we can avoid the downtime. Clear, Sriman?
Yes, but in which scenario actually that it may go down and it will trigger that
if there are more number of jobs, Sriman.
Okay.
When there are more number of jobs, every job will consume the hardware configuration of the dev instance.
Correct.
When there are more number of jobs, when all the jobs are consuming the same hardware, it will go down because of the limited hardware configuration. Okay, Sriman.
Yeah.
So that's the reason in such cases we go for slave machine and establishing master slave configuration, establishing passwordless, master slave configuration in Jenkins.
So in that case, Sunil, actually, if while running a job and it got master node got gone down, and
if because of while running a particular job, the master machine goes down, that means not only specific job, all the jobs will go down. Sriman.
Correct. Yes.
The only solution what we need to do is to restart the Jenkins. That does not make any problem. But in future, we don't want any downtime, this kind of cases, isn't it, Sriman? So this will be the solution as a DevOps engineer, you have to do it. Okay.
Yeah, got it. But here I have one more doubt actually.
Yes.
When we are restarting the Jenkins, again, it will restart in dev server.
Obviously. No, you have to establish, we have to stop the jobs. We should make sure that the jobs are not running on the dev instance. We will create a slave machine and then we'll move to slave machine.
Okay.
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 We will not go to that extent, Sriman. As in CloudWatch, there's a service called CloudWatch. We can also know how exactly the machines are busy. Okay. So you can, using the monitoring tab, you can monitor the dev instance performance. The moment if you see that 80% of memory is getting utilized or 80% of the CPU is getting utilized, that means you will get you need to prepare for creating a slave machine. Okay. So we will not wait for till the downtime. We will be proactive and then making sure that the jobs are running on the slave machine. Okay.
Okay. Just to understand the scenario actually.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil.
Mahesh. Good morning, Mahesh H.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening. Sorry. Sorry, Mahesh. Good evening.
Yeah.
Your question.
Question is, why do we need passwordless? I mean,
because at any point of time, it's all about communication. There should be seamless communication between dev to slave. If dev machine wants to instruct the slave machine, if it is asking for prompt, then it will prompt for password. We need to provide the password, Mahesh, manually. Okay, it should be done seamless connection. So that's the reason we go for passwordless connection. Okay.
Okay. One more. If slave machine is also having more jobs after we are not seeing go
for multiple slaves.
Who will monitor? Who will monitor the master and slaves?
It's not monitoring. Every EC2 machine can be monitored. Can you see here? For example, Mahesh, this is a slave machine, right? Using the
Yeah.
monitoring tab, you can monitor the memory utilization of the particular slave machine. Got it?
Okay.
Right now, the metrics are not getting updated. You can see here. Okay, CPU utilization, how many network packets are going in, how many network packets are coming out. Okay, you can get the complete monitoring information, CPU utilization, everything can be done in an EC2 machine, can be monitored. Okay, so if the second if the slave machine is also becoming busy, then create one more slave. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
By
Okay.
default, monitoring service, AWS provides a monitoring service using which you can monitor the hardware utilization of the any EC2 machine, whether it is dev or slave. Okay.
Okay. Fine. That's all.
Venkat. Annabatina.
Hi, hi Sunil.
Hello Venkat, how
So,
are you?
I'm doing good, Sunil. Thank you.
Thank
How
you.
are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How is your learning experience in DevOps?
Going well, Sunil.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
going,
your question.
going well as of now.
Please do
And
hands-on.
yeah, this is we are yeah, I'm doing hands-on as well. So you give an example for today, like a job will select manually. Manually mean we are defining which slave we need to use for the particular job.
You are right. Specific job, you are clearly hard coding that node so that it runs on that specific node only.
Is there a dynamic option also? Let's suppose
there is no need for dynamic because by default every job runs on master node only. You have to manually move the jobs to the node.
I am asking. Let's suppose is there any way to select dynamically selecting slave dynamically by master?
No. Your doubt is, can master machine select the slave according to the availability? Am I right?
Yeah, maybe load or availability.
Yeah, that's fine. No, it will not happen. You need to clearly specify the node in which it should run. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Can you hear me, Anuj?
Yeah, Sunil, I have a little question.
Yes, your question first.
Actually, we have established a passwordless authentication between master and slave. It's correct. But while defining a job, every time we have to, in build step, we have to specify SSH IP address and then the build steps, because only then it will work, right?
You're talking about CI/CD process, right?
Right. I'm
yes.
Whenever, because passwordless is correct, but
fine.
Every job is created. I need to, in build step, I need to add SSH. That syntax is mandatory. Else then job.
You have to do that. Okay.
Correct.
Next point, Anuj. Instead, no, the main reason why we are going for master slave configuration, Anuj, to avoid the downtime because of limited hardware.
Correct.
So instead of all this headache, we can increase the hardware configuration of the dev instance only, right?
Yeah, we can.
The solution can be solved, rather than making complex.
Scalable. We can make machines scalable.
No, increase double the RAM, double the CPU.
Right.
And double the hardware configuration so that it will withhold double the jobs. Am I right, Anuj?
Right.
Okay. So that is if in the interview I ask you why are we going for slave machine, you can go with the increasing the hardware with the dev instance only, isn't it?
Right.
Then what will be your answer? That is a solution provided by AWS.
Right.
If there should be some solution from the DevOps, from the Jenkins standalone tool point of view, right?
Right.
Not every client uses AWS. Some there are a few Jenkins clients who are using on-premises environments. Okay.
They might have their limitations.
So they should be from solution from the Jenkins tool point of view, not dependent on the cloud solution point of view. This is the right solution, and this is the preferred solution. Okay.
Correct.
The performance also will be more better rather than increasing the hardware of the dev instance. It's always better to have better performance when you go for slave machine. The performance of job will be much more better. Okay.
Proven.
When you go for dev master slave configuration. Okay.
Proven.
Thank you, Anuj. So one of the most frequently asked question is that have you anytime established passwordless master slave configuration Jenkins? If yes, could you please explain the steps? You should be in a perfect way to explain the process of why should we do it and how should we do it. Okay, so this is our agenda for today's session. We are done with agenda of need for master slave configuration, establishing passwordless communication, how to create a node, how to run the job in the new node. Okay. And we also have completed the CI/CD stages using freestyle job. You should be in a position to perform the CI/CD stages using pipeline job. Okay. So the other way of performing CI/CD stages using the pipeline job, we'll be discussing it in our next session. Nekwa. Good morning.
Good morning, Sonia. Yeah, we did the last class we did. We touched on security in Jenkins.
Yes.
And yeah, giving the right privileges to the right people. And so apart from that security, particular security in Jenkins, is there
anything more related to security?
Yes.
No, that's enough with respect to security options in Jenkins.
Okay.
Nothing more is required. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Then you brought in your friend who helped us to
the project.
To do the project with
Project
Jenkins.
explanation, which had on Sunday morning. That will be Saturday evening for you.
Yes.
Did you attend it?
Yes, I attended it, but it was good. It was faster than you, so I got lost.
You can anyways watch the video in our YouTube channel. Okay.
Yes.
I want you to subscribe the YouTube channel. I'll send you the path.
I did. I subscribed.
1 minute. I'll also give it to other participants.
I have, yes, I subscribed to the YouTube channel, but I have a little question on that.
1 minute.
Okay.
I'm setting the YouTube channel. Sorry. Thank you, Nekwa. Thank you. I was on mute. Yes, Balaji, your question, please.
Yeah, hi, thanks for the section yesterday.
So I have sent you the YouTube channel link. Please subscribe so that you can get the updates.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, Balaji, your question, please.
My doubt is now we are connecting the projects, right? Like we'll doing one project, and we after the completion of the project, next project should run in Jenkins.
Project?
Like
talking about the CI/CD stages, right? Jobs.
Yeah, jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, like I did, like testing should be done in the second.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So if one thing in master and second thing is in slave, this can happen?
No. Both related jobs should be in the same node. That's what other participant also asked the same question.
Okay. And one more doubt: that slave.jar file, why we will be pushing to the dev server?
It should know it by default. You will, whenever you install Jenkins on a particular machine, you will find slave.jar file. Okay.
Okay.
That you have to download it on the slave machine, whichever you are planning to configure. Okay, Balaji.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay. So thank you all. I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed the session. See you tomorrow. We'll discuss many more configuration options related to Jenkins. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody. Please subscribe our YouTube channel on the chat box.